Okay, now let's look at our locks. The first lock we're going to go over, or actually the first two locks, are probably the most common locks you're going to see in any system, and it's the outside and inside wrist locks. The first one is an outside wrist lock. It's usually taught in 3 stages, usually the shoulder, then a straight arm, and then a cross arm. So we're going to start with the shoulder, and the reason it's called an outside wrist lock is because you're literally taking the hand to the outside of the body. Now when you grab, you want to grab, take this off, you want to grab with the thumb anywhere between the knuckles. It doesn't really matter, just make sure it's between the knuckles and you're grabbing the meaty part of the thumb so that you can do our push and pull scenario. So when they grab, you come up just across like this, and you don't pull it off the shoulder, you just roll it off like this. So you have the hand here. Now from here, you're going to take it out to the outside of your body or your triangulation point, like that. Now if you do this correctly, you shouldn't have to be bending over or putting a lot of effort. They should go down pretty much immediately. So again, on the outside, when they grab the shoulder, you come across just like this. You just roll it off, making sure you're using that thumb. Now there again, we want to push with this part, the thumb, and we're going to pull with our fingers. So we're going to pull in, like we talked about before. It should be kind of like turning a handle. So we bring the thumb to the outside of the body or the triangulation point. As you can see, he's already becoming off balance, which is neutralizing his other striking hand and any kicks or possible counters he can do. And then from here, you just take the other hand, and if you need to, you can step, and you've got him down. Now, for the straight arm grab, it's the same thing. We want to get the hand in the same position. We want to get the thumb to the outside of the body. So we're going to bring our hand straight up. We come underneath. Now, when we pull, we don't want to pull this way. Because remember, if you're pulling against the fingers, they're probably going to win. You want to pull against the thumb, so you roll out against the thumb. Because right here, you've already got a lock without even really doing much more. Then the hand rolls over, and you've got him in a position that you can do something else with. So again, straight arm grab, palm comes straight up, this comes underneath, you go against the thumb. Now if you wanted to, you actually have a break here of the thumb. This comes over the top, bring it straight down to your triangulation point, or until they slap, depending on the drill that you're working on. Now the cross arm, this would be the third stage. This time again, thumb to the outside. So we're going to bring the hand, as we come in, we're just going to bring the hand this way. Like that. Try to think, or you can even bring it straight up. However you want to do it, depending on what the technique is, but you want the thumb to get pointed to the outside of the body. Then put your forearm on here. This will kind of help with the lock. And then again, push and pull, and they'll go right down. Okay, last time for a cross arm. From here, over, and down. Now there's a lot of different variations you can do with an outside wrist lock. You can step back and pull them this way. If you want more of a throw type or a jump roll, when you come in, you would bump the hip. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this depending on the result that you're looking for. Now when it comes to a technique, the first time we use this particular technique is in a technique we call twisting talons. Someone cross arm grabs you. We do it 2 different ways. The first one, like I showed you, you grab here, you step forward, and you bring your hand straight up the center line, you elbow the chin, and then you drop them with the lock. The second way we use this is we go to the outside, like this, and then we chop them in the throat and take them down. Okay, let's do these for over here so you can get a better angle. So, go ahead and do a shoulder grab so you can see from this angle. We grab this way. Now you can either step back or forward depending on what you're trying to do, and then just take them down to your belt. A straight arm, hand comes up. Remember, thumb anywhere between these knuckles. It doesn't matter which way, it just depends on the size of your hand compared to theirs. Step out slightly, and you drop it. And then the last way again was the cross arm. Hand comes here, thumb right there. Fingers roll over against that thumb. This is what you don't want to do. Go ahead, hang on. Because if he tries to hang on, we're in a fight. Then I got to start kicking and doing a whole bunch of other stuff to distract him. If you really just want to go into the lock to control, just go to the outside and then just bring it straight down to your belt and then they'll be neutralized. And that's how you do the outside wrist lock. The next lock we're going to look at, or joint manipulation, is the standing arm bar. There's several different variations of an arm bar, but the first one that you actually learn in our system is in yellow belt, and the technique is called arm bar. And it's for a shoulder grab. Now, what an arm bar is basically we're going to lock up this hand and shoulder and get the opponent on the ground. And you do this by starting off with your hand almost like you're going to do the inside wrist lock, and then you step in and you roll across the body. You want to step across his body like this. And as you do so, you're going to take your arm, your forearm, and put it right on top of his elbow. You're going to keep this right up against your chest. This hand grabs the wrist. This grabs right around like this. And like the outside wrist lock, we're going to push the fingers in as we pull them in. Okay? Again, they grab. You come up and just grab just like this. And all you want to do is just roll that shoulder over and step across their body. You can see he's already losing his stability. Now bring your arm straight down to your rib cage at the same time. Push and pull with the hand. And then just keep applying until you get the results you're looking for. Let's do this one from here so you can see the lock a little better. Okay, again. So, we grab this way, and this comes up underneath. Step across the body, just like that. Now bring your arm right to your ribs, and you've got the lock. Like I said, we use this in a technique called arm bar, which is not much different than what I just showed you. The only difference is when he grabs, at this point, he's going to throw the punch. So as he punches, we block it, just getting slightly out of the way. This hand pins the arm. We grab, and we take him down. Okay, last time for that technique over here. Okay, again, this is what we call arm bar. It's in our yellow belt. They come in and they punch. We block. This comes up and grabs. Step across their body. Bring your arm straight down to your ribs, and apply the lock. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is called the four-directional throw. This is done from a cross-arm grab, like a handshake, straight arm grab, and even from a punch. So we're going to show you all three ways to get into it. The first way, which is the most basic way, and what we teach in the technique Breaking the Sword B, is for a handshake. Now, this is not because you're technically going to do this to a guy who's throwing a handshake at you. This is just the easiest way to learn these techniques without getting too complicated. So on the four-directional throw, we're going to come in and we're going to step across the body, and we're going to use our elbow against theirs. Then you want to push up with their elbow and pull. So we're going to use our push-pull method. Then we come across and we slide. Now, one of the most common mistakes students make is they come up and they bring this above their head. The problem is, if Lee wanted to, he could just push it down, because I'm not in a position of power. He is. So what we want to do to prevent that, and also to use the feel in case he does try to counter it, is we come in and we do this. This way, if he tries to punch with his other hand, all I have to do is lift. I can see it. Also, it neutralizes that other hand. He can't hit me even if he wanted to, and if he did, it wouldn't be anything behind it. I'm going to slide it across my body, and then you just step straight behind him to take him down. Let me get a little farther back so we can see that. So we come across here, we lift up, we come in, and we take them down. And then you drop your knee on top of them to keep them from bouncing up. Now, there's a lot of different angles you can do to take them down. It's really going to depend on you and your opponent, the height, how big they are, and a lot of different factors. I can still make the same technique work and come out more to the 9 o'clock position. Okay, so anywhere between 9 and back up to the 10:30 position, you can step and take your opponent down. It's just going to depend on your surroundings and what results you're looking for. Now, the straight arm grab, when they do it, since we're trying to come across the body, we're going to have to come this way. We're going to start by coming with the fingers, because we got to come in around that way. So we step in, we want to neutralize the hand that way, and then we come and take them down. Okay, again, on the straight arm. There again, we've got to neutralize that hand, because if they're grabbing you because they're going to punch you. They're not grabbing you just to be grabbing you. So you're going to counter grab, The hands are going to pull and slide down, then you push back up. That neutralizes that punch, and you take them to the ground. Now the last way I'm going to show you with a technique. This is a technique we call stop hit. And basically stop hit's where you just come in, grab and hammer fist, but we're going to add the 4-directional throw to it. So as he throws his punch, there's the stop hit technique. Now from here, I just bring the hand across the center line, apply the lock, and I take them down, and I'm back in control. Okay, one last time, the 4-directional throw from a punch. Here, there's the stop hit technique. So any technique this way, or anything that uses a punch, you can make it work. Just bring the hand across your center line. You want to neutralize that hand, because remember, they're punching you, or they're going to attempt to maybe even do a second punch. Apply the pressure, and around, and down. That's 3 possible ways to use the 4-directional throw. Okay, the first technique required for yellow belt is attacking the circle. As we discussed in our basics video, we used the clock principle. This technique is designed to help you learn that clock principle, plus help you with your footwork. It's not an actual technique in the sense of you're defending yourself against something. This is more designed to help you with your clock principle and your footwork. The A variation of this technique is your 90-degree angles. In other words, we're just going to work 12, 3, 6, and 9, plus work our fighting stance. So you're in the center of the clock, straight ahead is 12. You step in, left hand in check, chop the neck, chop the groin. Slide in and out of your heel, 2, 3, chop, neck, chop, groin. Come back to neutral, slide in and out from the heel. There again, chop the neck, chop the groin, slide in, slide out, chop, chop. Okay, again, this is the A version of attacking the circle. Step in, chop the neck, chop the groin. Slide into your heel, slide out, pivot, 2, 3. Chop the neck and chop the groin. Come in, slide out from the heel again, and do your double chop. Then come back in, and come back out, chop, chop. Okay, let's do it from this angle. Now this is 12, 3, 6, and 9. So our first stance, chop to 12. Slide in, slide out, chop to 3. Slide in, slide out, chop to 9. Slide in, slide out, chop to 6. Okay, from a different angle. From here. Now this is 12, 3, behind me is 6, and to my left is 9. Step into 12, chop the neck and groin. Slide in, slide out to 3, chop again. Come back to neutral, slide in, slide out, chop, come in, come out, slide in, and then chop the neck, chop the groin. And that's how you do attacking the circle A. Now the B version, we're going to do our 45s, which is your 130, 430, 730, and 1030. These are the most common angles you're going to use throughout the Kenpo system. So in this case though, instead of doing our chops, we're going to work our extended outward block, followed by a reverse punch into hard bow, making sure everything's pointed at the 130 position, then back to fighting stance. Come in, slide out, Left hand goes to chamber, reverse punch, back to fighting stance. Come in. Now we're going to do a left extended outward block, right hand in chamber, right reverse punch, back to fighting stance. Slide in, slide out to 1030, reverse punch, back to fighting stance. Okay, again. Step in. Right extended, left hand in chamber, reverse punch. To 430. Block, punch, 730, block, punch, and 1030. Block, punch. Now, as you've noticed, anything after 12 and before 6 is usually done with your right side. There are some exceptions, but for 99% of the techniques, anything that you're going to step off to any of those angles will be done the right side. Anything past 6 and before 12 will usually be done with your left side. 12 and 6 can go either way, left or right. So let's do it from a different angle. So now we have 12 o'clock in front of us. So this is 1:30, 4:30, 7:30, 10:30. Block, punch, back to stance. Block, punch, back to stance. Block, punch, back to our fighting stance. And last one is 10:30. Block, punch, back to fighting stance. Okay, last angle here. Now again, 12 is here, 3, 6, and 9, just so you have your reference of where we're at. So 1:30 will be here. 4:30 will be between the 3 and 6. 7:30 is between the 6 and 9. And 10:30 is between the 9 and 12. Last time from this angle. 1:30, 4:30, 7:30, and 10:30. Now, the attacking the circle C. This is something we want you to make up on your own. You can use any of the circle that you wish in any self-defense technique that you learn in class, in group class, or from other systems, and put in 4 attackers and start coming up with your own choreographed fight. There's no right or wrong answer. We just want you to start thinking in multiple attacks, since that's what usually takes place in today's society. So, put your opponent anywhere you want within the circle. Use 4 self-defense techniques of your choice, and make sure each one's a different technique, and come up with your own choreographed fight. That's attacking the circle A through C. The next techniques that are required for yellow belt is stop hits A through E. These are initiation moves. In other words, they're just a one-move setup so that later on in the system you can start seeing how they would work with other techniques and how you use them to set up a technique. So the A version, they're all pretty similar. A through C are basically the same thing, just a different hand strike. So the A version is you're going to step forward, extended outward block, grab. And this isn't a chop because you don't want the hand to go the way. The motion is an extended outward block, but you're going to grab the hand instead of chop it. At the same time, you're going to throw a vertical punch to the face as you go into hard bow. Now, as you set this up, you want to develop a power pattern. So you're going to step into fighting stance with your hands over in chamber as you torque into a hard bow stance. Okay, again, for the A version. Just like that. Okay, A from this position. We step in, hands in chamber, go to hard bow as we throw a vertical punch to the face. Again. From this perspective, step in, extended outward block grab, go to a hard bow as we do a vertical punch to the face. Again. Okay, the B and C version are pretty much the same. The B version is pretty much the same. The B version is we're going to do the same thing but with a heel palm. Okay, again, we step in and heel palm. Same motion as A. From here to heel palm. Here to heel palm. Making sure that you're getting that torque of the hips for that strike. And from this position, hands come over into a chamber position and strike. Again, and strike. Now the C version is you're in a little closer. So you don't have the room to strike, so what you're going to do is you're going to throw an uppercut elbow. So you start off the same way, but we're going to do an uppercut elbow to the sternum or the chin, depending on your height relation to your opponent. From here and up. Okay, from this position and up into a soft bow this time because it's a circular motion. So we're going to use a soft bow pattern. And up. Okay, from here and up. Same motion. Hands do all the same thing except for the strike, which is an uppercut to the chin or sternum. Okay, the D and E version. Slightly different. We're going to step with our right foot this time as we do a hammer fist to the temple or through the nose for D. So again, here, so the hands are going to start up a little higher instead of down here. We're going to come up here, soft bow to horse. Okay, there's your power pattern, soft bow to horse. This is going to go to the temple or through the nose. Again on D. From this position, soft bow to horse. Okay, and from this perspective. Make sure you go from soft bow to horse. Okay, and the last variation of this is the E version. Same as D, except we're going to chop the collarbone. Same motion, but just come in and chop the collarbone or the neck. So we come in, soft bow to horse. Okay, step in, soft bow to horse. Now when you're stepping in, you want to step to about somewhere between the 130 position, not directly in at 12, but off to the side to get out of the point of the contact of that strike. Okay, again. Okay, from this position, and those are stop hits A through E. The next technique we're going to look at is Chinese sword. Now, Chinese sword is your first figure 8 motion. Now, you've got a right punch coming. There's an A and a B. A is for a right punch. B is for a left punch. So, as we come in, we're going to step in with our inward block to the inside of our arm. Now, this could also be a crossbody parry, whichever way you prefer. But what you want to make sure you're doing is the hand doesn't stop and then continue. It should be one continuous fluid motion. So, 1, 2, chop into soft bow. Now you're chopping right at the line of your gi and back into chamber to set you up for other strikes and other techniques later on in the system. Again, left hand in check, inward block or cross body parry, chop as you do a figure 8 motion into a soft bow power pattern. Again, inward or cross body parry, continue the motion and back into your soft bow. Hand goes back into chamber, your left hand is in check. One last time. Okay, from this angle, same thing, inward block or crossbody parry, continue that motion, and go to a soft bow as you chop, right hand goes into chamber. Should be one fluid motion. Just like that. Now make sure as you're chopping and you're driving downwards, that's when you want to go to your soft bow. Make sure the power pattern matches the arm. Again, and back to soft bow. From this angle, inward block into a fighting stance, continue the motion, and go to a soft bow. Again, crossbody parry or inward block, back to soft bow. Now the B version, like most variations, are what if. What if you threw your inward block, but it's a left punch instead of a right? So you come in and you throw in your block, but it's a left punch. The neck is no longer available. So in this case, we throw a back fist. So we start off with the same exact motion, except we're going to end up with a back fist instead of the chop. You want to lean into it just a little bit to get the body weight behind it. 1, 2. And again, making sure your left hand is in check. From this angle, just like that. Step in, block, lean into it just a bit, and get your body weight behind it. From here, step in, get your body weight behind it, and a back fist should just be a flip. Just like that, and what you're doing is hitting the side of the temple. We're not coming down on it, we're coming from the side. So one, hand gets cocked here or by your head, and then back fist. Last time. Okay, our next technique is called delayed sword. This is for a right punch. This could be used for a couple of situations. One, the guy just came on you too fast and you didn't really have a chance to step back to fighting stance. Or two, which is more likely the situation, you don't have the room to step back into a proper fighting stance. So on delayed sword, what we're going to do is we're going to step back slightly with our left foot at the exact same time. Our left hand's going to go in check, and our right hand's going to do an inward block as we draw to a right cap. So that first motion is just step back, block, draw to cap. Let's just do that part again. Step back, block, draw to cap. Then from here, we're going to front snap kick the groin. That'll double your opponent over. As we drop our body weight, we're going to do a chop to the side of the neck. So again, step back, left hand in check, inward block, front snap kick to the groin, chop to the neck. Okay, from a different angle. Step back, draw a cat. Now the cat stance there again, 90% of the weight's on your back leg, 10% on your front leg. Front snap kick to the groin, rechamber, set down, don't drop down, and chop to the neck using the drop of body weight as your power pattern. Again, cat stance with your block at the exact same time. Front snap kick the groin, rechamber it, set it down, and chop the neck. From this angle, kick, rechamber, set down, chop the neck. Kick, rechamber, set down, and chop the neck. Okay, now the B variation of this is what if? What if you front snap kick the groin and instead of doubling over, they back up on you? So what we're going to do is you're going to do the exact same motion, but as you go to set down, you realize the chop is not there. They're out of range. So you do a crossing back kick and land forward. Again, exact same motion as A, set down, crossing back kick, land forward. So here again, the B variation of delayed sword is the exact same as A, but when you do the front snap kick, they're no longer in range of the chop. Or they saw the kick coming and they backed up anyway. Got a cat, front snap kick, they're no longer there. Crossing back kick, land into a fighting stance. Again. Okay, from this angle, step back to cat, inward block, front snap kick the groin, they're no longer in range. Crossing back kick. Again. And land forward. And that's delayed sword. Okay, now let's look at knee of vengeance. Knee of vengeance is someone that's going to come up and push. So as they push, we're going to step back and get our stability so that we don't get off balance. This will also set us up for a knee strike. And as we do so, we're going to counter grab. Then we're going to drive the knee straight up into the groin or solar plexus, depending on what you can get. Stomp the top of the foot. Make sure your left foot is in a soft bow position. Left hand comes up to grab or cradle the head, cradle and crush. Again, as they come in, we're going to step back and counter grab, get our stability back. Drive the knee straight up, stomp the top of the foot. If you can't get the foot, don't worry about it. Continue on with the motion. Counter grab and strike. In this position, they go to push, step back, get that stability back. Drive the knee straight up, stomp the foot, counter grab, cradle and crush. Again, they come up to push, we step back, get our stability. Knee the groin, stomp the foot, grab the head, and cradle and crush. From this position, step back and grab, knee, stomp, cradle and crush. Okay, one last time. Step back, drive the knee into the groin or solar plexus, depending on what you can get. Stomp the top of the foot. Left foot is in soft bow. We call this a Jerry Lewis stance from the old Jerry Lewis movies. Counter grab, cradle and crush. Our next technique we're going to look at is Fang of the Cobra. This is for a two-hand choke, or even could be for a reach, but the main concept is a choke. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand and you're going to pin down on the wrist to bend the wrist slightly to relieve the pressure, also so that you know where the hands are. It's more of a check, not trying to bend the arm or head forward. From here, because we don't want the arms to come together, we want to leave them open. So we check the hands, step forward with a spear hand to the throat, right into the windpipe area, claw the eyes, grab the shoulders, knee the groin, stomp the foot, and throw them away. Again, we pin, step in and strike the throat. Now the first claw, if they've got glasses or anything on that's obstructing the face, you can use this as a clearing action, then strike the eyes, then grab, knee, stomp the foot, keep your foot on their foot, and throw away so that as you push them back, they'll try to break the ankle. Again, pin, strike the throat, claw or clear the eyes, claw the eyes, grab, knee, stomp, and throw away. From this angle here, pin, strike the throat, claw or clear, strike the eyes, grab, knee, stomp, and throw away. One last time from this angle. Pin. Step straight into 12 o'clock. Spear hand the throat. Claw the eyes. Claw the eyes. Grab the throat, shoulders. Knee the groin. Stomp and throw away. One more last angle. Pin. Strike. Claw. Claw. Grab. Knee. Stomp and throw away. And that's how you do Fang of the Cobra. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is twisting talons A through D. Now these are wrist grabs, so A and B are for straight, C and D are for cross arm. So we'll go through all four of them and then we'll show you from different angles. Now as far as the outside wrist locks go, refer to the start of the video where we cover the locks that are needed to understand for this particular belt, because it'll go into a lot more detail on how it works and how to do it. So for the A version, straight arm wrist grab, we just counter grab their wrist. Now we're going to use the thumb to pull against it. We don't want to pull against the fingers because that's the strongest part of the hand. We want to attack the weakest part, which in this case is the thumb itself. So all we're going to do is just pull our hand straight to chest like this. So we counter grab, pull the hand straight to chest. On the A version, we go under the arm and strike the ribs. Okay, again, from here, pull straight in, but not even pulling. You just turn your hand just like that. Just put it right against your chest. So from here, and strike the rib cage. The B version's identical, except we came over the top of the arm, so we're going to strike the face. Okay, there again, the same motion. We grab the wrist, hand comes straight to the chest. We're not jerking or yanking that hand. We're just letting it slip out and go straight to the chest and elbow the face. So again, A is under the arm, B is above the arm. Now C and D are your cross arm wrist grabs. So C, we're going to go into an outside wrist lock, so we're going to grab the hand in an outside wrist lock motion. And there again, we're going to attack the thumb, so we're going to roll the hand over into the thumb and chop the throat. Staying in a fighting stance or side stance. From here, roll and chop the throat. And again, outside wrist lock and chop the throat. The D version, this time we're going to attack the same way, but at a different angle. We're going to come straight up the middle. Okay, it's still an outside wrist lock, except we're going to come straight up the center line and elbow the chin. So on this one, as we step in, we're going to step the soft bow and strike into horse. So the D version. So let's go through all four of those again. We have twisting talon A, which is under the arm. There again, we don't want to pull. You should just place your hand right on your chest and go right against that thumb. We have B, which is over the arm into the face. We have C, which is to the outside. You should be in an outside wrist lock at this point. The hand should slip right out and chop the throat. D, straight up, soft bow to horse. Okay, from this angle, grab, step, elbow under the arm. B, grab, step, elbow the face. C, over the top, chop the throat. And D, step straight in with a vertical elbow to the chin. Okay, one last time from this angle. Grab, elbow the ribs. You're going under the arm in that case. B, grab, over the top, elbow the face. C, we grab the outside wrist lock. There again, refer to the first part of the video for the locks required for this belt. for further explanation of that lock, roll the hand over, chop the throat. D, we're going to come straight up the middle, still an outside wrist lock, soft bow to horse, as we elbow with a vertical elbow to the chin. That's twisting talon A through D. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is returning dragon. Now, returning dragon is a right grab to the right shoulder. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clear the arm away as we go to a left soft bow. We're not really stepping out as much as we're just stepping into a horse stance, or what would be a horse stance. Then we're going to chop the neck, cradle and crush, then forearm, and as you forearm, you're going to push them to about the 3 o'clock position, and they're around and keep them off balance. Knee, shove them some more forward, and elbow the back as you use your drop of body weight and an elbow to the back. Again, clear to soft bow, chop to horse, back to soft bow for cradle and crush, forearm the hand, neck. As you forearm, you're just going to let the neck roll off the fingers till they hook. And you're going to push them as you do so. Knee them, shove them some more, drop a body weight for an elbow to the spine. Again, clear to soft bow, chop to horse, cradle and crush to soft bow. Forearm, letting that neck just roll until you catch it on the edge of your fingers and pushing them away from you to about the 3 o'clock position. Jerk them back in as you knee them, push them back forward, elbow the back to the drop of body weight. That's returning dragon. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is called breaking the sword. This is for a handshake. Now, you're not going to break his arm because you're shaking their hand. It's just this is the easiest way to start teaching you some basic jiu-jitsu moves. Almost all jiu-jitsu styles start off with a wrist grab or a handshake. They move up to wrist grabs, then punches, so that you can build up the motion. Main thing is they're trying to teach you is the footwork more than anything else. But for a punch, there's nothing wrong with being prepared for a sucker punch. Someone comes up to shake your hand to throw the sucker punch. So think of it in that way. So as they go to shake your hand, you know there's going to be a punch coming. So as you do so, you're going to swing the hand using the web of your hand into the wrist as you step forward to neutralize that punch. The foot should be stepping to about 12 o'clock. Then your right foot's going to swing clockwise to the 9 or 10:30 position as you bring the arm up above your left shoulder, break it, left reverse elbow into the rib cage. Again, from here. We're going to web hand the wrist, and as we do so, we're going to bend those fingers back and straighten that arm out and neutralize that punch if it's coming. Then we're going to take our right foot, swing clockwise to about the 10:30 position, bring the arm up over the left shoulder, reverse elbow. Now the reason we're going to the 10:30 position is we want to get what they call the dark side of the body. This way, if I just stand here like this to the 9, I'm still in range of a strike. I want to make sure I get out of the range of any possible strikes that they could throw at me. So the handshake. We step in, we bend the fingers as we neutralize that punch and straighten the arm out. Swing our right foot clockwise to 1030. And up and over. Break over the left shoulder, making sure the elbow is past the shoulder, not on it or before it. Hand comes out just like a reverse punch. Drive that elbow straight back into the rib cage. From this angle, hand comes up. Swing around, break, reverse strike. Again, block that punch, swing around to 1030, break over the left shoulder, elbow strike to the rib cage. Last time from this angle, up, swing around, break, elbow strike. Okay, from a different perspective, we're here, swing around, elbow, almost like a punch being thrown back into chamber really hard. We're just going to do a horizontal elbow to the rib cage. Again, up, and elbow. Okay. Last time. From here, swing up, all the way around, break over the left shoulder, left elbow to rib cage. Now, the breaking the sword B version. Same scenario, just a different way to do it. This time we're going to show you how to do what's called a four-directional throw. This is taking your opponent down. So we still the same handshake, but this time we're going to keep that elbow bent as we bring up the elbow here. Then we're going to slide in and around and take them down. Now there again, for the four-directional throw, make sure you refer back to the yellow belt video at the first start for all your locks and throws that are needed. Again, from here, hand comes up, slide around, and punch. Now the footwork on this is we're going to step just like we did before to 12 o'clock with the right. Now you want to keep your elbow on top of theirs and that nice and tight. That'll keep them from punching you. Right foot swings to 1030. The hand slides across the shoulder. We don't lift it up. We just slide it across the shoulder. Then our left foot will step again to 1030 as we punch. Okay, again. Handshake. Step across the body this time. Bumping that elbow, keeping it up and locked. Right foot swings back, slide across the shoulders, step left to 1030, and punch. Okay, from this angle here. Step across to 230, step back to 1030, step again to 1030, and punch. And again. Step to 230, step right to 1030, across the shoulder, step left to 1030, and punch. Okay, from this last angle, we've got our handshake, step across, step back right to 1030, or come across left to 1030, and punch the face. Okay, again, step across the body to 230, left, right to 1030, left to 1030, and punch. And that's how you do breaking the sword A and B. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is Kenpo Shield A and B. Kenpo Shield is for right or left punch. It doesn't matter which one they throw. The only difference it's going to make is your targeting, whether you punch down the center line or whether you punch the rib cage. Now also there's another difference, whether you step forward or back. A lot of students ask which one is right. Neither one is right and neither one is wrong. That's going to depend between you and your opponent. What's your range versus theirs? A smaller person steps forward, a bigger person may need to step back. It doesn't make any difference. The technique will work the same. We're going to do all of these stepping forward, but if you find that you're jammed up doing this, feel free to step back into the fighting stance to do the exact same motion. Now, for the A version, we're going to assume they're throwing right punches, but there again, it doesn't matter. It could easily have been a left. We're going to step forward with our upwards block into our fighting stance. Right hand is in chamber. From here, we throw a reverse punch into hard bow as our left hand comes to check and back to fighting stance. Again, upwards block, reverse punch to hard bow, back to fighting stance. Okay, one last time. Upwards block, reverse to hard bow, punching somewhere down the center line. It doesn't matter. Solar plexus, groin, the face, and then back to your fighting stance. Now the B version is the what if. What if you step in and you don't have the room to throw a punch? Well, in this case, we're going to throw an inverted punch. Now, an inverted punch is just like a regular punch, except it doesn't roll over. The elbow never leaves the rib cage. And we're going to use our soft bow power pattern to develop the power versus a hard bow. So as we step in with our upwards block, we drive our hips up into a soft bow as we throw the inverted punch into the rib cage or solar plexus and back to fighting stance. Again, upwards block, hand goes to check, inverted punch. There again, just like a regular punch, except it doesn't leave the rib cage, and we're going to use our hips to drive up and into a soft bow and back. Okay, again, upwards, inverted, and back to fighting stance. Okay, from this angle, Kenpo Shield A. Upwards block, hard bow, reverse punch, back to our fighting stance. Again, upwards, reverse punch, left hand in check, hard bow, and back to fighting stance. The B version, same setup, but remember we're too close to throw a reverse punch, so we're going to drive up with our hips and into a soft bow for an inverted punch with our right hand. Again, upwards, inverted, and back. And from this angle, left upwards into fighting stance, right reverse punch into hard bow, and back to stance. Again, upwards, reverse punch, back to fighting stance. Okay, the B variation, upwards, inverted into a soft bow, which stays pretty close to the body, and back to fighting stance. One last time, upwards, inverted, and back to fighting stance. And that's how you do Kenpo Shield A and B. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is armbar. Armbar is for a left grab to your right shoulder with a right punch. So as the person comes in and grabs, we're going to counter grab their hand, just like this, and as they throw the right punch, we're going to slightly step out and block. Now this isn't a huge step, this is just more of a slight get out of the point of contact. Then from here, we grab the meaty part of the hand as we take our right foot, step to 1030, and go into a standing armbar. Now, if you need to review a standing armbar, go back to the first part of this video where we did all of our locks and throws, and you can review the exact application and in more detail how it's done. Okay, again, for the technique armbar, left grab, right punch. Come up and grab. You don't really do anything at this point except grab. Okay, here, step out and punch, block the punch. Go across the body. This hand should come right over the elbow Drop your body weight as you pull them right into your rib cage. Okay, again now, once you get practice at this and you got the motion down, try to get this at the same time. Grab, step, block. Then grab the meaty part of the hand and go into the arm bar. Keep in mind when you're doing locks and takedowns, they're not necessarily going to be fast. You want them smooth and fluid. Okay, again, hand comes up, we step out, extended outward block to the punch, counter grab the meaty part of the hand, roll over, and go into our standing arm bar. From this angle here, grab, extended outward block, grab the meaty part of the hand, roll over into a standing arm bar. Again, one arm bar. Okay, from this angle here, step, block, and grab. Grab the meaty part of the hand, take your right foot, step to about 10-30, and drop your body weight slightly as you go into a standing arm bar. Again, one standing arm bar. Okay, and that's how you do arm bar. This is for a mugger's grip from behind, so someone's coming around and put their arm around your throat. Okay, and this is for someone that's come up with a left mugger's grip. So what you want to do is, as soon as someone grabs you want to turn your head and put it into the crook of the elbow. That'll change the choke from a breath choke and allow you an airway. So all they'll really have on you is the grip and not so much a choke. Then we're going to take our hand and we're going to put it on theirs. We're just going to check it. Don't sit there and fight it and try to pull it away. Just turn the head. Now, we're going to do a lot of things at the same time. Then from here, we're going to step out, put our hand out like a reverse punch, and drive it straight back into chamber. Okay, again, we turn, grab, step out to 9 o'clock with our left foot, right reverse punch as hard as we can into chamber, followed by a hammer fist to the groin, grab the groin, and hang on to it as we drive the elbow straight up into the chin for a chin strike. Okay, again, grab and turn. This will allow some air into the airway. Don't sit there and fight with this. It's probably going to be a waste of time. Just check it because later on we show you how to use it for locks and so forth. Just turn. Put the hand straight out like a reverse punch. Drive it right into chamber as hard as you can. Hammer fist the groin. Heel palm grab the groin. Drive straight up with the elbow to chin. One more time. Grab and turn and drive just like that. So this motion should be one. You want to practice this enough times where you can do it all at the same time. Then hammer fist, grab, heel palm, drive elbow straight up. The B version is a what if. What if they grab you and put your arm behind your back? All this is basically showing you can still do the same thing, just step out in the opposite direction. So this time we're still going to turn, but now we're going to use our left, hammer fist, grab, drive straight up. Okay, again, start from a neutral stance, put the arm behind the back, drive elbow, hammer fist, heel palm, and grab. Okay, one last time. Elbow, hammer fist, heel palm, grab. That's Japanese string hold A and B. The next technique we're going to look at is driving elbows. Now, driving elbows is a bear hug from behind, and it's what we call high bear hug. In other words, it's above the elbow joint, so we still have the use of our lower part of our arm from the elbow down. So as they come in and grab, First thing we're going to do, as we do with any grab, is we open up the center line so that we can have a target. So we're going to step out right to 3 o'clock, hammer fist the groin, then we're going to take our left foot, dancer underneath the opponent, corkscrew back fist to the solar plexus, back to soft bow, heel palm the face as they double over from the solar plex strike. Again, from here, step out, hammer fist. This should loosen up the grip enough, if not completely let go. Then we're going to dancer underneath the arms. We're not really underneath them, we're just going to dancer to help clear them away into a soft bow as we do a corkscrew back fist. It's the same thing as a back fist, just we're going to rotate it around right into the solar plexus. This strike here should double them over. We're going to come back to soft bow and do an upwards heel palm to the face or jaw. Okay, again. Hammer fist. Step out. Corkscrew back fist. They double over. Back to soft bow. Heel palm the jaw. Okay, one last time. Step out, hammer fist at the exact same time. Left foot's going to step to about the 430 position. This is what we call a dancer move. Back to horse as we do a corkscrew back fist to the solar plexus to double them over. Back to soft bow as we heel palm up into the face for our power pattern. And that's driving elbows. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is crossing guard. Now, crossing guard is an offensive motion from the side. And what this means is basically we want to strike first. Maybe you've got more than one opponent, or maybe this guy is of a size that you really think you need to get this first strike off to get the element of surprise. So from your neutral stance, we're going to do what we call a twist stance, which is basically you put one foot in front of the other, which sets you up to protect the center line as well as sets up a power pattern so as you unwind you can strike. So as they're standing there, we're going to cross step with our left hand in check. Now our left foot's going to step to 9 o'clock with our left hand up in a check position. Right hand is sitting right here at your solar plexus or your gut, right above your belt. So this is your first move, just like this. Then from there, we're going to back fist their solar plexus. That's going to double them over. We're going to reach up and grab their shirt, jacket, whatever they've got on, and we're going to unwind. By unwinding, this will give us the power pattern we need, or circular power, for an elbow strike to the head. From here, we're going to forearm the neck and push them away, just like on Returning Dragon, and hook the fingers right at the end to grab the neck. Then we knee them, shove them away again as we set up our dropping elbow strike to the back. Again, twist stance, okay? That means one foot's in front of the other. So a dancer is behind, a twist stance is in front. They both do the same thing, which is set you up for a power pattern strike. So from here, hand right here, you set up the targeting for your solar plexus, grab, unwind into an elbow. Now this is not a cradle and crush. This is just a horizontal elbow straight to the jaw or face. Forearm as we move them away and hook them back in. We want to keep them moving. Set them back down, elbow strike to the back. Again, back fist, grab, unwind, forearm, knee, elbow the back. Last time. This is crossing guard, which is where it gets its name right there. Back fist, grab, unwind, forearm, knee, elbow the back. That's how you do crossing guard. Circling thorn is our next technique. Now, circling thorn is for a thrusting knife, someone that's thrusting the knife in and pulling it back. So their motion is like this. So we're going to use that as part of this defense. So as the knife comes in, we're just going to check on top of the crook of the elbow. We're not trying to stop it. We just want to use it so we can feel and get the timing of the knife. Then from here, as he starts to pull the knife back, our right hand's going to grab the wrist, then the left hand is going to grab underneath. And you have it so that your left thumb is on top of your right. Now you want to put that so it's right there in between the two bones. And then you can use that to press. That'll help give you some leverage as well as put them on your toes as you come through. So from here, we're going to step right to 12, then left to 12, and drive the knife right into your opponent. Okay, again, check the elbow right there at the crook of the elbow. We're not stopping it, we're just checking it. Grab with the right. Left now comes underneath. We step right as we press in on those thumbs. Step left and drive that elbow. Or drive that knife into their body. Okay, let's do it from the different angles so you can get a better sense of the footwork. So from here, we check. We grab. Left comes on top of right where the thumbs are, press them right between those two bones, and we grab the wrist. We're going to step forward right, then step back left as we bring the arm up and over and drive it right into their body. Again, check, right grab, right, left thumb on top of right, driving those fingers into between those bones and twisting them as we step forward right, step back left, and drive. Now the timing on this is as your left foot finishes its stance, the knife should already be in play. We shouldn't be stepping and then driving because we want the momentum of our body to help with that knife strike. One more time from this angle. Check, grab, counter grab again, so now you have both hands. Step left as we push the arm back, and the arm should already be coming back at this point. So all we're doing is going with the motion of the knife. So as the knife comes back, we're going back with it. Okay? So remember, it's thrust and back. So we want to time our stepping so as the knife comes back, we're going with it so it's easier to control the opponent. Again, 1, 2, grab as the knife comes back. We just follow it in and drive the knife into the body. Okay, from this angle, check, grab, right to 12, left steps back to 12, and strike. Again, check, grab with the right, grab with the left, step forward right, step back left, and drive. Okay, last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's circling forward. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is called windmill guard. This is going to introduce you to our windmill block, and we're going to show it from a left and a right punch, and then we're going to show you how to use it in a little bit different aspect by going to the inside of the arm with an overhead club attack. So the right variation, or the A version, is for a right punch. We're going to step out left with a cross body parry. Now as we step left to 1030, the hand just pushes our palms right across the body. The right hand's going to come underneath, and we're going to use our arm as a guide and slide it right down to the wrist as we throw our wheel kick. Okay, again. 1, 2, kick. Okay, again. 1, 2, and kick. Okay, last time for the A version. 1, 2, and kick. Okay, I take that back. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'll give you a little bit more of how this should look. This should be one smooth and not broken up like I was demonstrating so that you can see. There's your block, and then there's your kick, and then you just plant down forward or back depending on what your next move would be. The B version is for a left punch, left punch. So we're going to step right to 230, right crossbody parry, left hand comes out and grabs as we throw a left wheel kick. Again, 1, 2, and kick. Okay? 1, 2, kick. Now the kick can go to the solar plexus as far as the shin, or it can go to the solar plexus with the point of your toes, or you can strike the groin. It's really going to be determined by what type of shoes you have on and where your environment is. In some cases, the shin kick may be a little better off if you have flip-flops or something on. Now the C version to this, like I said, is an overhead club attack. This is just to show you a different way to use the same exact technique. We're going to draw to a cat stance as we do our inside block. Now we want a cat stance to line up straight with their groin. We're going to throw a front snap kick to the groin, step out, side thrust kick, then back fist down. Okay, again. 1, this should be lined up with your attacker's groin. Front snap kick. Now we're going to step out to about 9 o'clock or in line with their knee because we want to bring the knee up. Side thrust kick to break it out. They're going to move towards about the 3 o'clock position as we drop down with a back fist to the temple. So this should be to the side of the head. Again. 1, step out, line up with their foot or their knee. Side thrust kick and back fist. Okay, let's go through these all again from different angles so you can see everything from different perspectives. The A version. Windmill block, wheel kick. The B version. Left punch, windmill block, wheel kick, and set down. C version, overhead club, cat stance, front snap kick the groin. They're going to double over, line this foot up with their knee, side thrust kick so that they lean away from you, back fist to the side of the face or temple. Okay, let's go through them one more time. A for a right, set back down. B for a left. Okay, return to our stance. C, right overhead club. Step out, side thrust, and back fist. Okay, from a different angle. A, right punch, windmill block, right kick, set down. B, left punch, step out right, windmill block, left kick, and back. C, neutral or right overhead, draw to cat, front snap, set out, side thrust, and back fist. That's how you do windmill guard A through C. Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is scooping the kick A through D. A and B is for a left kick, C is for a right kick, and D is for a right kick followed by a right jab. So, on the A version, we're going to do what we call a scooping block. In other words, we're going to scoop the leg in and out of the way. Now make sure when you do a scooping block that the palms lead, then the fingers follow. Do not start with the fingers forward, otherwise you're going to jam those fingers against the leg. So we're going to do heel palm, hook. So make sure you practice heel palm, hook. So as the kick comes, we're going to scoop the leg past us. So now their back is towards us. We're going to grab them by the shoulders, pull them in as we do a rising kick up between the legs to strike the groin. Again, scooping block, grab, rising kick between the legs up until the groin. The B version, same exact start. Scoop. Now this time, their legs aren't far enough apart to do a rising kick. So we're going to grab them by the shoulders and knee the back. Okay, again on B, scoop, heel palm, then fingers again. Grab them, pull them in, drive the knee to their back. C version. This time they're throwing a right kick. So we're going to draw the cat and just throw a front snap kick to the groin. Okay, again on C, draw the cat, front snap kick to the groin. D version, as I said, they've added a right jab to it. So we do the exact same thing as C, kick, but this time we're going to land in soft bow with a left smother block, which means the hand just comes over the top and smothers that punch. We're in a soft bow. Right hand is in chamber. We do an uppercut elbow strike to the chin or a vertical elbow. Again on D. Block. Front snap kick the groin. Step in. Elbow strike. Okay, let's go through those again. A, left kick. Scoop. Legs are far apart. Rising kick between the legs to strike the groin. B, left kick. We scoop. The legs aren't far apart, they're close together. We grab the shoulders, drive the knee to the back. C, they throw a right front snap. We throw a front snap kick to the groin. D, they throw a right kick along with a right jab. Right front snap, smother, elbow. Okay, let's look at it from here. A version, step back, rising kick between the legs. B, step back, scooping block, drive the knee to the back. Remember, heel palms, then fingers. I can't iterate this enough. Do not heel palm with the fingers forward. I've seen too many students jam their fingers because they didn't listen and came with the fingers first. Heel palms, then the fingers. Okay, again, C, front snap kick. D, front snap kick, land into soft bow forward, smother, elbow strike. Okay, again. A, rising kick. B, knee. C, front snap. D, front snap, smother, elbow. Okay, from a different angle. A, rising. B, driving the knee. C, front snap kick. D, front snap kick, smother, hand in chamber, vertical elbow strike. Last time through. A, rising kick. B, driving the knee to the back. C, draw the cat, front snap kick to the groin. And D, draw the cat, front snap kick, smother, elbow. And that's how you do scooping the kick. Okay, our next technique is called dancer. Dancer is from a two-hand choke from behind. So what we're going to do is they come in and choke. The easiest way to get out of it is just twist out of the grab. Remember, the thumbs are the weakest part of any grip, and that's what we're going to use to attack the grip itself. Now, we're going to also add some softening moves. So we're going to step back left to about the 430 position with our dancer move as we do a left chop to the groin. We're going to pivot to face 6, right chop to the groin, right foot steps to about the 3 o'clock position as we cross out. Okay, again, left foot, dancers to about 430, left chop, pivot to face 6, right chop, step out to about 3 as we cross out. The B version, we're going to do the same thing as A, but add one more strike to it. So, dancer back with our chop to the groin, right chop to the groin. This time as we pivot out, instead of crossing out, we're going to drop our right hand and do a rich hand to the throat as your opponent is doubled over from the groin strikes. Again, left chop with our left dancer, right chop, left hand should be in check. Step out to soft bow, pivot around, rich hand to the throat. One more time. 1, 2, step, and strike. The C version. C version is slightly different. This time we're not going to step so much to 430 as we're going to step closer to the 6 o'clock position. And then we're going to pivot. Then we want to counter grab our opponent, drive the knee to the ground, adjust our stance, and throw a back kick to their back. Okay, again, step more straight back as we do our first chop, pivot for our next chop, come up and grab the shoulder, drive the knee to the ground, adjust, and back kick. Okay, from a different angle. From here. Left chop, right chop, and cross out. Okay. B version. Left chop, right chop, step out to soft bow, rich hand the throat. C version, chop, chop, counter grab, adjust, line up with their back, throw a back kick, and cross out. Okay, let's go through them one more time from this angle. Left dancer, left chop. Pivot to face 6, right chop. Step out, rich hand, or step out into a fighting stance. That was my fault. Let's do A one more time. Dancer, chop, step out to about 9 or 3, and then go into a fighting stance. B version. 1, 2. Now as we pivot out, we're going to throw our rich hand to the throat. Okay, again. Left chop, pivot to face 6, right chop, step out, rich hand to the throat. Okay, last variation from this angle, the C variation. This time we're going to step more to 6 as we do our left chop, pivot to do our right chop, counter grab, drive the knee to the ground, adjust so that we line up with their back, back kick, and cross out. Okay, once through from a different angle. Dancer, left chop, right chop, and cross out. Okay, again, left chop, right chop, and cross out. B version, same thing as A. Left, right, but instead of crossing out, rich hand to the throat. Okay, again. Chop, chop, pivot, rich hand to the throat. Okay, the final one, the C version. Chop the groin, counter grab, line up with the back, back kick, and cross out. Okay, last time for C. Step to 6, left chop. Right chop, counter grab, adjust, back kick, and cross out. That's dancer A through C. The next technique we're going to look at is opponented sides A through D. Now, A version, each person's got one hand on each shoulder. So they're standing there just like this, right on the top of your shoulder. So we're going to step out right to about the 3 o'clock position as we do a wing chop. Now, a wing chop comes straight up the center line. We don't want to come out like this because they can block it. We want to use their blind spot. So we're going to step out and wing chop the throat. Left hand goes to check, just like that. Now, this is what we call a hot plate method. In other words, we're not going to stand there and do the chop because we want the element of surprise for our second party before they have a chance to really react. We want them still in shock from what they just saw. So as soon as we hit, we're going to cross step into our twist stance and do stop hit D, or an extended outward block, hammer fist to the temple. Again, wing chop, step out, twist stance to 9, extended outward block, hammer fist to the temple. Okay, last time on A. 1, okay? Practice that. You want to be in and out. Okay, just that quick. We don't want to have this guy a chance to react or readjust. So with wing chop, come out and hammer fist. B version. Now each person has 2 hands on you. So the wing chop is no longer a viable target because their arms are in the way. So we're going to go to the next available target, which in this case is the groin. So we're going to step out, hammer fist, and hammer fist. There again, we don't want to sit here too long. So as soon as we hit, we bounce out. Or use what there again we call the hot plate method. Think of that as a hot plate, in and out. Okay, we don't want to burn ourselves. Hammer fist the groin, hammer fist the groin. C version, we now have one arm out like this. Okay, they're not on the shoulders, they're actually on the wrist this time. So from here, we're going to counter grab, pivot, right back kick, set down to cat, reverse our cat stance, and left kick, going right to the rib cage area. Again, counter grab as we draw to cat, back kick, set down to cat, pivot, left cat, and left back kick. Okay, last time for C. Right back kick, left back kick into the rib cage area, pulling them in. The D version is more of an escort style motion. You got one hand high, one hand low, and they're like escorting you out of a building or something. So what we want to do is you want to get all their weight on one foot. So as they're escorting us out, we're going to stop and pull them in. And just jerk all that weight onto one foot. Doesn't matter which way you do it. Left side thrust kick, right side thrust kick to break out that forward leg. Again, pull them in. This time I'm going to step differently so you can see it doesn't matter. whichever way is the most comfortable for you and which way you want to go first. So again, the hands are here. You jerk all that weight onto the forward leg, break it out, break it out. Let's go through them one more time. Opposite sides A, wing chop, clear, grab, and hammer fist. B version, 2 hands on the shoulder, strike the groin, hammer fist the groin. C version, 1 hand on each wrist, counter grab, right back kick, left back kick. D version, 1 on the shoulder, 1 on the wrist, step forward, pull them in, side thrust kick, side thrust kick. That's opponents at sides. Okay, the last technique we're going to look at is returning serpent. Returning serpent is for a 2-hand grab or someone reaching to grab you. The first thing we want to do is we're going to heel palm the elbows to straighten them and lock them up. At the same time, we're going to grab the medial nerve. The medial nerve is also known as the funny bone. Everybody's hit that part of their elbow at some point in their life, and they know how hard it hurts. It may take some time and practice to get that right on, but with practice, you'll be able to do it every time. Now, at the same time we do that, we're going to front snap kick the groin to double them over. Then we're going to pull them in by those elbows and box their ears. Now, remember, when you're doing this with a partner, don't box their ears. It's very dangerous, and you can bust an eardrum very easily. Just go through the motion or hit them on the temple or something. So again, kick, pull, box the ears, grab the mandible nerve, which is the nerves right underneath that jawline. Basically, if you just follow it until it hooks under the hinge of the jaw, use that to knee them, and then throw left or right. It doesn't matter. Okay, again. 1. Box the ears. Grab the nerves or the jaw, knee, and throw. Okay, from a different angle. Heel palm, grab the nerve, front snap kick, rechamber, step back, box the ears, grab the mandible right at the edge of the jaw, knee them in the face as you pull them in, and throw. Okay, last time from this angle. 1, box, grab, knee, and throw. Okay, from over here. Same thing. 1, actually, do that again, my fault. 1, box, grab, knee, and throw. And there again, it doesn't matter which way you throw. You can throw left or right, whichever is more comfortable. But it's usually better to throw with the leg you're setting down with so that you have the power of the hips. Okay, again. 1, box, grab the jaw, knee, and throw. Okay, last time. Knee, and throw. That's how you do returning serpent.